Accessing library computer data.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of my review/overview of the Ferengi faction pack. In part 1, I covered the captains and the ships, along with the one admiral that came in the pack. Today I'll be covering all the upgrades and the 2 reference cards that come with it. So let's get started. The first crew we have is Grilka. She costs 1 point. You do not pay a faction penalty when equipping this card to a Ferengi ship. Opposing effects that cost 1 or more GPLT cost +1 GPLT. Not a bad effect for only 1 point. I mean, you can never really go too wrong with 1 point crew. You don't pay the faction penalty when assigning her to a Ferengi ship, even though she's Klingon. She's pretty situational, as your opponent would need to be flying Ferengi and be using Gold Press Platinum tokens to activate effects. But if your opponent does do that, this is a good kind of counter to negate some of their effects, or hopefully use them less. Otherwise, she can be a 1 point crew that you can discard. The second crew we have is Gaius. He costs 3 points. Action: place 2 time tokens on this card and target a tech or a question mark upgrade equipped to another ship within range 1 of 2. Place 3 time tokens on the target upgrade. I think he certainly has his uses. I don't think he's something you want to bring every time, especially for the 3 points, and he takes an action to do it. But certainly useful in disabling something like Projected Stasis Field, or any other tech that you don't want your opponent to be able to play, assuming you move before them. The third crew we have is Brawl. He costs 1 point and must be equipped to a ship with a Ferengi captain. End phase: discard this card or another crew upgrade equipped to this ship. Place 2 Gold Press Platinum tokens on the captain equipped to this ship. Again, for 1 point, you really can't go wrong. Gold Press Platinum tokens are really good for the Ferengi. Activate a lot of the new effects, or even add battle stations onto them. And it's nice that he can discard other crew other than himself. So if your crew has already used their ability, they got some time tokens on them or whatever, you can just discard them instead of him and get some more Gold Press Platinum tokens for your captain. The fourth crew we have is Parlin. He costs 3 points. When this ship would be destroyed by an attack, equip this card to the attacking ship, even if it exceeds that ship's restrictions, with the number of Gold Press Platinum tokens on this card equal to the number of GPLT on the captain equipped to the ship. Activation phase: the opposing player may spend 1 GPLT on this card. Place 1 disabled token on an upgrade equipped to this ship. Okay, so I think this card can be a lot of fun. Essentially, when your ship would blow up, he switches to the opposing ship, and then you, the original owner of Parlin, get to choose to spend 1 of the Gold Press Platinum tokens on the card and disable 1 upgrade on their ship. So it's still beneficial to you. Probably not something you're going to want to throw every time, but certainly a pretty fun card to mess with your opponent. So the fifth crew we have is Nava. He costs 1 point and must be equipped to a ship with a Ferengi captain. When a Ferengi crew upgrade would be discarded from the ship, place 1 Gold Press Platinum token on the captain equipped to the ship. I really like him if you have the crew slots available when combined with Brawl from this pack. You can really regain your Gold Press Platinum tokens if you have effects that use a lot of them. It's a really good way, assuming you have the crew slots to do it. And again, for 1 point crew, you really can't go that wrong. And the sixth and final crew we have is Letek. Actually, the same picture as Tar. All they did was zoom out the frame a little bit. So they must be running a Ferengi crew or something. But anyway, Letek costs 2 points. Action: discard this card and place 1 auxiliary token beside the ship. This ship rolls +2 attack dice this game round. He's okay. The action, I think, really hurts it. Never mind the auxiliary token, because you can clear that before you take your next action anyway. Unless you're willing to spend the Gold Press Platinum tokens to get some quality, or spend a target lock if you already have it, I really don't think he's worth it just for the 2 extra attack dice. Alright, the first elite talent we have is the Rules of Acquisition. Costs 5 points and must be assigned to a Ferengi captain, and are limited to 1 per ship. Setup: place 6 Gold Press Platinum tokens or GBLT on the captain equipped to the ship. This card is the same that came with Gauss's Marauder, but it's a really good way for old Ferengi captains to keep up with the meta of the Ferengi as a whole. Otherwise, the old captains really wouldn't have a way to get a lot of Gold Press Platinum tokens on their captain card. So it's a really good card, and certainly worth having. The second elite talent we have is Grand Nagus. Costs 2 points and must be assigned to a Ferengi captain. Action: discard this card and target all friendly Ferengi ships within range 1 to 3. All target ships may perform a green maneuver. This is the same, just reworded as the previous card of Grand Nagus. I actually like this ability. Ferengi don't have a 180 firing arc, so it's could be a good way for you to get some of your ships in position. With using something like Lauren's Bird of Prey, you can really take advantage of the effect on this card. And the first weapon upgrade we have is Photon Torpedoes. It costs 2 points. The attack value of this weapon is the ship's primary weapon value. Attack. Place 2 time tokens on this card and target an opposing ship either in your primary or secondary firing arc. Place an auxiliary token beside the target ship. One thing also to note about this Photon Torpedo upgrade is that it can be fired at range 1 when all the other ones can be fired only at range 2 to 3. Although I'm not sure, other than the benefit of the auxiliary token, why you'd want to use it at range 1, because then you wouldn't get the range bonus from using your primary weapon. Not as good as the Federation torpedoes, obviously. No built-in conversion of your dice. If you combine it with something like the new Destructor Cannon upgrade that comes in the starter set, then the other ship that you're using will gain +1 attack die. But otherwise, I don't see much use for this card. Alright, the second weapon upgrade we have is Virtuon Pulse Trap. It costs 2 points and is independent. Setup. Place a minefield token anywhere that is not within range 1 to 2 of any edge of the play area. When a ship moves within range 1 of the minefield token, target that ship. Place an auxiliary token beside the target ship. I think it'd be okay, except for a recent Wharf ruling has said that if you perform a green maneuver, you would gain the auxiliary and then immediately lose it because you perform a green maneuver and those remove auxiliary tokens. Same thing as if you use Pavel Chekhov from the USS Reliant. Same thing, just if you perform a white maneuver as well. There are certainly cards that work when your opponent has an auxiliary token, but if your opponent is running USS Reliant Chekhov, probably never going to actually receive that auxiliary token. So I don't think it's a great card. The third weapon upgrade we have is Weapon Ports. Has an attack value of 3 and costs 2 points. If this card is disabled, this ship rolls -1 defense die. Attack. Disable this card and target an opposing ship in your primary firing arc, within range 1 to 3. This attack deals no damage. If this attack hits an attack squadron, discard 1 attack squadron token for each uncancelled hit or critical. So essentially, this card is only useful if your opponent has an attack squadron, but otherwise it's a really good way to quickly remove squadron tokens. Otherwise, only if you attacked it and hit it 6 times with a normal attack, it would still only discard 1. With this card, you can discard up to 3 of them, and using some of your gold press platinum tokens, you can get some quality on your 3 dice. So probably a highly situational card. Certainly worth having if you know your opponent is bringing an attack squadron. And the first tech that comes in the pack is T9 Energy Converter. Is independent and costs 2 points. End phase, disable this card and remove an auxiliary token beside the ship. Repair 1 shield on the ship. So this is actually kind of an instance where Virtuon Pulse Trap is useful. Place it near somewhere where you know you're going to be flying back and forth through. Then you can use this to convert your auxiliary token to repair 1 shield on your ship. So again, probably a bit of a situational card, but with some of the auxiliary giving cards that certainly that are in this Ferengi faction pack, might be worth considering if you know your opponent is bringing them, or if you want to use Virtuon Pulse Trap on yourself. Alright, the second tech we have is Kemocite. It costs 2 points and is limited to 1 per ship. Activation phase. When you reveal the ship's maneuver, you may increase the speed of the maneuver by 2. The color maneuver remains the same as the revealed maneuver. Or, when attacking, discard this card, add 1 hit. I really like the first ability. Actually, I really like this card in general. The first ability is you can use it to get to an objective quicker. You can use it to avoid hitting your opponent if you find out you're going to actually crash into them. So you keep your action. And then the bonus on when attacking, you may discard this card to add a hit. Some good quality. If you know you're going to blow up your opponent on that shot, certainly use this as a finishing blow. So I really like this card. And for only 2 points, it's certainly worth it. Alright, and the last upgrade we get is Biomimetic Gel. Is independent, costs 3 points, and is a question mark. This upgrade counts as a tech or weapon upgrade. Activation phase. Place 2 time tokens on this card and target a crew, a weapon, or a tech upgrade equal to another ship within range 1 to 2. Place 1 Biomimetic Gel token on the target upgrade. Alright, so it stands. It doesn't sound like this card does a lot, so I'll cover the reference card next. Alright, so what does the Biomimetic Gel token actually do, or BMGT? While an upgrade has a Biomimetic Gel token on it, it gains the following text based on its upgrade type, crew. The ship that placed the BMGT on this crew upgrade may spend the BMGT to use the ability of this crew upgrade. Weapon. When this weapon upgrade deals damage to an opposing ship's hull, the ship that placed the BMGT on this weapon upgrade may spend the BMGT to discard one crew upgrade of their choice equipped to the defending ship. Tech. When the ability of this tech upgrade is used, the ship that placed the BMGT on this tech upgrade may spend the BMGT to place 2 time tokens on each crew upgrade equipped to the ship. When a BMGT is spent, roll 1 attack die. If a battle station is rolled, discard both the Biomimetic Gel upgrade card and the target upgrade the BMGT was on. Alright, so let's start with the crew. This is certainly something you want to use probably on your own ships. The Biomimetic Gel just says target another ship, so it can be your own. So this would be a way to use a card's action without actually using your action on that ship, so it can be quite handy. The weapon upgrade, you're going to want to target probably a weapon upgrade on your own ship, one of your friendly ships, so then you can discard a crew upgrade on the ship that you're defending against, or that is defending against your attack. So again, quite kind of useful. And the tech, that's probably the only one you're going to want to target an opposing ship, as you may spend it to then place 2 time tokens on each crew upgrade equipped to the ship. So it was a way to limit their abilities. So that can also be quite powerful. You run the risk of discarding the Biomimetic Gel token card on your ship, and then whatever upgrade that you target, so you may end up discarding one of your own, either crew or weapon. So certainly a risk, but I think some of its effects certainly outweigh the cost and the potential risk, even if you only get one use out of it. And the second reference card we get is the Gold Press Platinum token. So if you just want to pause the video to give it a quick read, I'm not going to go over it entirely again. If you want to hear my thoughts on it, please watch my Gauss's Marauder review, where I cover it more in depth. All I'm going to say here is that it's a really good effect. Certainly brings the Ferengi up to a playable faction by themselves without even needing the independent faction. Certainly worth having. So, thank you for taking the time and watching part 2 of my review/overview of the Ferengi Faction Pack. The Faction Pack also comes with 2 missions, Profitable Acquisitions Part 1 and Part 2. I have not played them, so I can't really comment on how fun they are, but they are there. Overall, I do like this pack. I probably prefer the captains and the ships as opposed to most of the upgrades, but there's certainly some useful upgrades. And 1-point crew are always useful, even if you don't use them for their effect. You can discard them to use another card's effect. So I definitely recommend purchasing this one if you are interested in expanding your Ferengi or independent faction, or if you're just like collecting all of them like I apparently do now. If you disagree with me about a card, please let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.